Okay, hello and good morning. This is my 2002 4Runner limited edition, completely stock. Today it is about 18 degrees out. We got a little dusting of snow here in Western North Carolina, but we mainly got a lot of ice. And I'm curious, how does this thing drive in ice? Black ice to be particular.
One must keep in mind that just because black ice looks different than white ice, it doesn't make it any more dangerous.
Now, I have no modifications to this thing other than an Apple CarPlay stereo and a rear backup camera, which I talked about in my last video. If you haven't, I highly recommend that you install something like that. It makes your life 10 times easier. There's no lift on this thing at all. I have stock tires as well. I would say the tires are pretty good condition. I bought it with about 60 to 70% tread left. I still have those side running boards. And yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of clearance on this thing. I think stock clearance is around 9.8 inches, so good enough for me. I'm not going to be doing any crazy off-road wheeling. If you've been under a rock for the past week or so, the entire Southeast has been blasted with this Arctic frigid air. I know a lot of areas like Kentucky, Virginia, Indiana, they got blasted with snow. We just barely escaped that over here in Western North Carolina, but we did get a lot of ice. It's been raining for the past 2 days at about 40 to 45 degrees, and for this whole entire next week, it's looking like it's going to be a high of like 36 to 38 degrees, with today being 18 degrees. So with all that said, I got to go to the gym. These gains don't stop for anybody. And I'm just genuinely curious. I'm one of those people when the weather gets really bad outside, I want to go outside and see what's going on. So I'm curious to see how this thing handles. So let's go ahead and start this thing up and get to the gym. Now, right off the rip, my door is frozen closed and I'm not trying to snap my handle. So I'm going to go in through the rear right here and climb through and kind of pop open my door. Oh, man. Thank God I have my rear seats down. Jimmy, this door open. All right, come on, baby. Oh, yeah. All right, got my door open. All right, let's cold start this bad boy, shall we? Let's see what the outside temperature is. 19. All right, let's see if she starts. Hell yeah, boy. Put the heat seaters on. She's a little angry. But she's a good girl, dude. I'm so proud of this thing. Let's go ahead. I'll meet you guys on the road here. Okay, so a couple things that we're going to do right off the rip before we get going is we're going to put this thing in 4 high, and we're actually going to activate this button over here that locks in the center differential. It's a button. Certain models of the 4Runner have this center differential locking button. I guess that I just have the one that includes it. Now, essentially what this button does is it locks the front axle and the rear axle together so they spin at the same exact time. Why would you want this, you might ask? Well, I'm really glad that you did ask. You want this for conditions just like this: snowy, icy, muddy. I could be saying this wrong, but it's essentially there so that you don't spin out in situations where you want all your wheels to be going at the same exact revolution. From what I've researched online, it's really bad in highway conditions. Or highway conditions, especially when turning, because it'll bind up. Essentially, think about it like all your wheels are turning at the same exact revolution. So turning into a corner is actually going to make it really tricky. We're going to go ahead, pop this baby into neutral. The differential, if you can see it, it's right over here. And we are now in 4 high, and our differential is locked. Our 4 high button, well, 4-wheel drive button is right there. We're just naturally in 4 high all the way there at the bottom. If I want to put it into 4 low, I would just shift this knob all the way up here. We are in neutral, so now we're going to pop this baby into reverse and get out of here. All right, let's put this thing in reverse and let's get going to the gym, baby. I do have the Insta360 camera on top to give you guys a better view of what it kind of looks like as we're driving. Right off the rip, oh yeah. Getting out of my driveway is always fun. I live about a half a mile down this gravel road, and it's fine during the summer. It's even fine during the fall and the spring, but a couple times during the winter, this thing can get snowy and icy, and I've had it to where you couldn't get out of the house for a week at a time. This was before I had a 4 high, 4 low kind of vehicle, so not really surprised that this thing is taking this like a beauty. I'm gonna put my seatbelt on because this hill coming up is a little treacherous. But take it slow, baby. Give a little brake check, see if we start slipping. No, we ain't slipping at all. We ain't slipping at all. I kind of want to slide a little bit just to see. I'm gonna slam on the brakes here. Yeah, we'll slide a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Let's find some ice and see how she does, yeah? Okay, we'll take the back roads. All right, so I was just driving. I turned off the camera, and I have a check engine light that just came on. And usually when you have check engine light, your traction control and your VSC turns off. So let's go ahead and figure out what this is. I do have an OBD reader as well as 20 bucks, probably a great investment. I have an idea of what this error code is. I usually get an O2 sensor error code from time to time, but let's just make sure. Yeah, P0420, P0420. So that's my catalytic converter check engine light, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clear that thing out. I should definitely get my O2 sensor replaced, but those things are like $200, and this is not at the top of my priority right now. The vehicle doesn't run any worse because of it, but it's just mainly annoying more than anything. At some point I will replace it, but for now we're just gonna act like that thing doesn't exist. And what do you know, cleared it out. This little light of mine does not shine anymore. All right, let's find some ice. I just went ahead and cleared out the check engine light. Looking on this main road that goes to the gym, I'm not seeing a lot of ice. I'm seeing some here and there, but I just saw this little side road over here that has a lot of shade in it. I'm clearly seeing ice right now. So we are gonna go down this road right now, and I'm gonna do it in 2-wheel drive just to see how she handles. Yeah, it's kind of hard finding ice because we are in Western North Carolina. We're not really known as like a snowy, icy area. So when you do get some ice and snow, it's good to kind of test it out and see how this thing does. So I'm gonna go down there and see how she drives. I will say this road for this pavement has got that kind of like grainy, gravelly kind of pavement. So it's already, the traction on it's amazing. I'm not really noticing any slipping at all on this road. For it being 20 degrees out with the snow and the ice, this thing's handling completely fine. I'm not mad about this at all. I'm going about 25 miles an hour. I disengaged the 4 high. I'm just in 2-wheel drive right now, and I mean, this thing's handling it completely fine. Yeah, I just tried to kind of lose traction right there. I didn't even lose any traction. All right, let's go back out onto the main road and see if we can find some more ice to get this thing kind of sideways a little bit. A little bit of a side note, but there's some beautiful horsies over here on the road. Hey guys, what are we doing? What do you guys have to say on the matter? How do you all feel about the weather conditions currently in Western North Carolina? Sir, now you were at the scene of the crime the other night, and your handprints or hoof prints are all over it. What do you have to say for yourself? I agree completely. What about you? Oh, all right. Chill out, buddy. Are you his lawyer? Do you speak for him? Understood. Sometimes silence is golden. You're a pretty horse. Can I pet you? Love horses. Okay, now we do have this last little treacherous hill here. That's pretty gnarly on this gravel road. So I'm probably gonna pop this thing into 4 high with the locker to see how it handles this little bit. Take it nice and slow. We're about 10 miles an hour right now. No slipping. No slipping at all. I did notice it had the downshift. I guess it was in second gear, and I was going too slow without enough RPM, so downshifted into first. Handling this, no issues whatsoever. Oh yeah, man, this is sick. Is awesome. Overall, I'm really satisfied with how this thing handles in light ice and snow. I haven't done 4 low yet because I feel like it's kind of unnecessary, but we're going completely fine between regular and 4 high, even with the diff locker. So pretty cool. Alrighty, guys, that's pretty much it. Overall, I can say that this thing handles very well in the snow and the ice. I will say we didn't get a lot of snow and ice up here with this storm. They were calling for a lot in western North Carolina, parts of it, at least the part that I'm in. We kind of skated by getting multiple inches of ice or multiple feet of snow. I will say for the areas that I could find ice, this thing handled completely well. I slipped maybe once or 2 times, and that was on that really steep hill right there, and then in just really awkward positions. The ability to go from regular drive to 4 high, and then the ability to do the center differential locker, seamless. I love the fact that I can do all that from within the comfort of my nice warm 4Runner. Overall, I think this thing's amazing. I still stand by the fact that I'm very happy that I paid $4,300 for this. And look, you guys don't need, multiple 3-4 inch lifts with 33s and all these crazy suspension upgrades just to get out and have a little bit of fun in the snow. If you're going to be doing some serious off-road wheeling, sure, go ahead and do it. For $4,300 without having to put $1,000 into a lift or another $2,000 into wheels and tires and other suspension upgrades, this thing does 98% of wintry conditions completely fine. So if you're considering getting a 3rd gen 4Runner, I highly recommend it. I really personally don't have any plans to upgrade any of the suspension or do anything crazy like that. For what it is, it's great. If I wanted to turn this thing into an off-road rig, it'd be a great platform for it. But for the amount that I paid, I highly recommend this as just a good daily driver that can occasionally deal with some snow, some mud, and some icy conditions completely fine. So I hope that answered any questions that you guys have. If you do have any other questions, feel free to list them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I try to get back to all the questions that I have. If you guys are contemplating getting a 4Runner, I highly recommend the 3rd gen, and don't go deep into your bank account to get something like this. So you don't have to have a little bit of fun and be able to get around even in icy conditions. Okay, it's getting really windy and really snowy, and it's still like 18 degrees outside, so that's no fun. I'm going to go ahead and get back into my car and get to the gym. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Okay, bye. Go buy a 3rd gen 4Runner again with the uncomfortable angles. All right, bye guys. Have a good one.